Hey, what's up everyone? Today we are taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy S9, and in this case the S9 Plus. That's been the phone that I've been rocking for the past month. I wanted to give it a little time, even though it's been out for a little bit, to get all of my apps on there and use it as a daily driver to see how it holds up. One thing to note is I am happy to say this phone launched with Android Oreo. It is a pretty big win in this day and age. It is rocking a Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 processor. That's something that as I've noticed a performance increase that has to do with the processor and also the amount of RAM, because the smaller S9 has 4 gigs and the S9 Plus has 6 gigs of RAM, which is it's overkill at this point, but you can definitely notice it. The other, I guess, hallmark feature for Samsung is it does come built in with 64 gigs of storage, and it does have a 3000 milliamp per hour or a 3500 milliamp per hour. Visually, you'll notice a lot of similarities from last year's model. We do have the Infinity display up front at 6.2 inches on the Plus size. We've got the glass back, which allows for wireless charging, which is one of my favorite features. If you'll notice, the phone has the fingerprint sensor on the center of the back, which is great now. The phone is actually a little bit shorter thanks to shortened bezels on the top. We still have a 3.5mm headphone jack and Type-C cable on the bottom, and you'll notice on the Plus model we have the dual camera setup. Let's talk about that camera for a minute, because I'm a little torn on how I actually feel about it. The performance of the camera is actually pretty good most of the time. It's one of the better automatic shots, like you just pull out a phone quickly and take a picture, and it's usually pretty good. The 2x zoom is nice, but it's not really that great for me. I do think that in low light, which is kind of the big ground where companies are trying to compete, the S9 Plus does a pretty good job. A lot of times it does sacrifice generally some color accuracy for just sheer brightness. I think the shot's a pretty good example of it. You have look at like this one, for example, where you've got a very bright image, but you kind of sacrifice what is generally better color or more natural looking color. Same goes with this one, where the iPhone, while I don't necessarily say it has the best camera around, it's a very solid camera when it comes to color accuracy, and I think this kind of shows it off very well.
I actually really like this phone, which for me is a pretty big deal, because I haven't been the biggest Samsung fan over the past several years. I've owned almost every single S series and a couple Notes. I think my biggest issue has always been, there's always been that one thing, that one glaring oversight that I just can't get past, and it makes me move on to another phone. And I think of the battery life on the S6, and I think of the performance problems with the S7 and sort of the S8 too, where they just, they started to not work as well after about a month in, where I've had a lot of other phones like Essential Phone, Pixel, that has, they last a lot longer before they start having any hiccups or bugs. And Samsung has never been really great at that, and it's probably because, like this phone, there's 2 messaging apps and 2 calendar apps and 2 internet browsers. There's too much junk that they throw on. But I think they finally found a good blend of performance and being able to get rid of some of that crap to where this phone actually performs really well. And I actually think it's going to hold up for a long time, and that makes me very happy. And that's why I kind of put off this review for a full month, because I wanted to see how it would hold up to how I use my phone. The one thing I will say is I'm not super into the battery life. I think that with a phone of this size, and I think they could have made it a little bit bulkier to add a little bit more battery life, because I do frequently get close to running out towards the end of my day. It's not a great feeling to be looking at your phone and having that, oh no, I'm almost out of battery. But other than that, I think that a lot of my problems with the way Samsung does their phone can be quickly remedied with a launcher. I am using the modded Pixel 2 launcher that they've pulled with the double bubble that they pulled from the beta of P, and I'm really happy with it. And I expected to want to jump right back to my Essential, but there's a lot of stuff in this phone that I enjoy, and it works well. And I think if you're in the market for a new Android phone, I think this is one to get. I know there's some uncertainty of what we're going to get next. We might have a G7, we might have a new Moto Z. We're looking probably another Pixel coming up soon. But if you're looking for a new phone now and you like the design, which I personally do, granted I do think this is the first phone that Samsung, really anyone has made, that I actually prefer the way it feels with a case. I've got a few cases for it, and I don't particularly like the metal bar that is all the way around it there. I liked the S8 where it felt like just a nice solid one single piece of glass and metal. Whereas this, you can definitely feel the separation between the metal frame and the glass, and I know they did that for a reason because it adds a little bit more grip. But I personally think it's uncomfortable. So if you like me, get a case. But I mean, it's a really good phone, and I think you should get it if you're looking for an Android phone. I think you'll be happy with it. But anyway, that's all I've got for that today. I appreciate you for joining me. The one thing I want to mention is that this is a new channel for me. This is a new endeavor. I'm excited to continue on. It's not just going to be phones. It's going to be a lot of stuff. I'm going to do video games. I'm going to do cooking. I'm going to do maybe like movies and music and maybe comic books. Just all the things that I'm interested in. I wanted to do a channel for it because I couldn't pare it down to just one thing. I know that's probably not the best idea for gaining a steady stream of followers, but for me, I wanted to share all of the stuff that I'm interested in, and since I jump around so much, I don't think I would do a very good job being super laser focused on one topic. So I hope you guys like what I do. I'm going to continue to get better at my recording environment. I want to get better over time. I want to do better audio equipment, new recording equipment. There's a lot of stuff that I want to do eventually to make this channel even better. If you have comments, ideas, critiques, anything you want, please leave them in the comment section. I guess like and subscribe. This is a YouTube platform, so I mean that's something that I'm supposed to say. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you soon.